What are the 3 biggest misconceptions that people have about Scientology?
Probably number 1, that we're some kind of closed group, and that it's just like the Hollywood religion, and we worship rabbits. That I don't actually know how many people think that,
Wait,
but I had someone
worship rabbits.
This Joyology.
Hi, I'm Joy Bryant, and this is Across the Board. I am on my way to meet my friend and fellow co-star from Parenthood, Erika Christensen.
Girls in bikinis!
Woo!
Girls in bikinis!
We're gonna hang out, talk, be hot together. We are here on this lovely day, and we're gonna go do some stand-up paddle.
Beach day.
We about to do this.
Okay.
All right, this is the calm before the storm. Have you ever been out here before?
No, I've ridden by here a lot, right along here, but never stopped and gone to the. Well, that's not true. Not since I was 14. My boyfriend, when I was 14, had a boat that he had.
Really?
Right, yeah.
Who was that boyfriend?
Okay.
Where is he? So last time you were 14 years old. So have you, you grew up in LA though, right?
I did. We're from Seattle, but moved here when I was 4, so.
You're just a little baby.
California girl.
Yeah?
Aww. California girl who needs to probably be a surfer at some point.
We'll get around to it. Well, today's going to be a start, you know. This is like stand-up paddle is a good entry way into the whole water sport thing. And I'm not an expert or anything by far. I've done it like twice, and yeah.
All right, that's 2 times more than me.
So what drew you to acting?
I was 12 when I was like, this is the way. I want to be an actor.
How did you know that?
You know, there was a girl I went to school with who was doing it, you know, like had an agent, was auditioning and getting jobs. And I was part of this kind of amateur performing group, just sing and dance around town, big group of kids. Mm-hmm. And I loved that, but I felt like I was an actor, but I knew I needed an agent, and I needed to actually be out there and doing it.
You knew this at 12 years old.
Because somebody asked me once, well, do you have an agent? And I was like, all right, I need an agent.
At 12 years old?
Yeah. That's literally what I said to my mom. I said, Mom, I need an agent.
And what did she say? You need to go do your homework is what you need to do.
She said, okay, we'll see about that. And they hooked it up. My mom found a manager who got me an agent, and I was working from when I was 12.
You're good, yeah, let's turn in here a little bit.
Okay. I don't know how to like turn and go at the same time. I know how to stop and
I think you do. You want to put the paddle on your right side and pull backwards and turn around this way. There you go. You're amazing. You've done this before, really.
Wow, so your parents have always been supportive of...
Yeah, well, you know what? They've been extremely supportive. They didn't actually tell me, though, that at first, between themselves, they agreed to, like, let it be a little trial period. Let's see how it goes for 6 weeks.
And also probably see how committed you were to it.
Yeah, how I was dealing with it, just how it was going and whatever. And so within those 6 weeks that they had allotted for my trial period, I got 3 commercials, and I was just like bringing in the money.
Nice.
We'll turn around and race back and we'll be done.
Okay. This is fun. Is it more fun to be on your knees?
Because I feel more stable on my knees.
Yeah.
And I feel like I think lower. That's why that thing you said, prone boarding, might be really good for me.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like I have more. I feel more stable and I can go faster.
Let's do that. Let's try prom board.
I'm pretty good at my knees, Erica.
Are you gonna take that as your handicap when we race? You're gonna go on your knees?
No, I won't.
All right.
I will lose like a gentleman.
At least it's faster than like walking.
So, did you do homeschooling when you started working as an actor?
Yes, I was in private school, and then when I started working, I couldn't. I was getting something like, do your homework from my teachers, and my mom was like, okay.
Right.
I understand your priorities now, and she allowed me to do homeschooling.
And what was that like? Was it?
You know, it requires discipline because you don't have the whole structure of a schedule of school, but the rad thing is that we would do one whole semester of one subject, like all the history, and then you would like retain it, you know, and then all of the science or whatever, and then I was just auditioning and working and set tutors and stuff, you know.
Did you miss regular school and just sort of being amongst, you know, other students and stuff? Did you miss that?
I don't think so. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I missed out on. I went to 4 proms, just like with friends. And so I got to experience prom. And I feel like I got the high school experience on movie sets. Not only playing characters that are in high school, but movie sets are like high school.
Right.
So, I got it.
True.
Yeah, so I got it on both sides.
So you love to cycle.
Yes.
Stand-up paddling is now your new favorite thing.
Right. That's what I'm gonna spend my mornings doing now.
You have such a hot body.
Okay.
Cause girl crush. But how do you?
You always with the shortest skirt.
I know. I always want you in the shortest, tightest things. I'm sorry. It's amazing. But how do you? And you seem so comfortable. You always seem so comfortable with in your skin and with your body. How do you maintain that in a business that is constantly telling us that we should be a size 0 lollipop head?
Right.
Like you've always embraced your curves. Was it where you did like how did you?
I don't know. I mean, I think that the most honest answer to that is just always that I have felt appreciated by men that I know in my life, you know? And then so I'm like, well, I trust their opinion.
Right.
and like just it's hereditary that I'm not skinny. Like both of my parents are like, you know, good, like fit looking people, but they have huge calves, and I'm like, and hence I have huge calves and all of that. I like feeling strong.
And the paddle's always the curve and
Damn it! That's what I get. I said I wanted to go swimming.
Perfect.
So you never felt any pressure from the business to look a certain way other than what you are? I mean, like, do you think that that's something that women in this business, or just women in general, we put on ourselves, or is it a societal
No, it's
thing,
definitely
or a mix, maybe?
I think it's a mix. I mean, also, like, I notice myself when I'm looking at models and I'm looking at clothes, there's a certain aesthetic that really is appealing, but then there is beyond that where you're too skinny and you don't look healthy, and
Right.
I think that's, like, as human beings that want to survive, like, you want to be able to run far or, you know, be fast and strong, like, just for survival. I think that's what we find appealing, and you can be actually really, really thin and still have that.
Right.
But then there's a certain point where you're like, no, your liver is not gonna function anymore. Like, what's happening to your body? Like, eat a cheeseburger.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's both. And me too. I've definitely been like, okay, that's seriously no more pie.
Right.
That's enough.
I've hit my limit.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to race?
Oh, let me sound the horn. On your mark, get set, go! Some competition going on here.
What was your first big acting gig?
I did my first movie when I was 13. It was
So a year after you started.
a year after I started,
Okay.
and Universal Pictures decided to make a film version of Leave It to Beaver. Mm-hmm. So I was in that, which I played Wally's girlfriend, so that was kind of a big deal.
Yay.
For me, my first movie. And then my next film was Traffic. I went from that
Whoa,
to
how
that.
old were you in Traffic?
16 or 17? 17.
Wow. I was like, yo,
So
that
good.
girl must have been like an ex-drug addict or something.
Well, thank you.
Like,
I know.
How did you
that
even?
role was so rad. Okay, I talked to people who'd been through it, and really also what helped me a lot is the president of Narconon, not Narcotics Anonymous, but Narconon, which is like a rehab program, detox, this whole thing. He really let me in on like all of the science of like what happens to your body, because I had this huge page of all these questions, like, okay, all right, you do a line of coke, what does it feel like? How long does it take for it to hit your bloodstream? You know, like how long does the high last? What does it feel like coming down? Like everything. I just asked him everything I could think of, and then he told me everything I wanted to know, and it kind of gelled. That along with like watching Basketball Diaries or something.
Killed it. You killed it. You were only 16, 17 years old?
Yeah, 17.
17. Wow.
Dude, thank you.
Wow.
I know, that movie's awesome.
Yeah, doggy, yeah.
That was awesome.
You got it. Can we do it?
So, what was your first big paycheck? Tell me Michael paid you well.
I have
He pays
no
you a lot,
idea.
right?
No
Pay for college?
idea. My first big, I think I got paid pretty well for swim fan, maybe, or,
You're so
dude, thank you.
girl crush. I mean, come on.
Stop it.
Crazy.
Or actually, like, maybe The Perfect Score. They might have paid us pretty well to do that. It was like, you know, me and Scarlett and Chris Evans and it was,
Oh my God, that's right.
Brian
Oh, you guys-
Greenberg. Yeah.
Wow.
It had a great cast.
When did you know that you arrived as?
When Traffic came out, I kind of had a feeling. Actually, when I got Traffic, and then the cast just continued to be like the most amazing people, that made an impression on me. I was like, I think this is gonna be good.
Like,
I think,
I'm there. I'm here.
and then that's you know, when it came out, that was like all the Golden Globes parties and Oscar parties and everything. I was like,
At this point, when it's
was-
coming out, you're like 18.
I'm 18.
Okay.
Just like so much energy, so psyched. I was out at all the parties super late, just like, yeah.
Were you tripping out meeting all these, like, not just working with them, but then when you're sort of all the attention that film got, and you're out and about, and you're like, hey, hi Meryl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, Brad Pitt, really? Hi, nice to meet you.
So nice
Were you
to meet
tripping?
you. I played it pretty cool, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. The interactions, I was like, yeah, the film is great, isn't it?
And I'm pretty good in it, right? Right. And I never did drugs. Where's my Oscar?
Where's my Oscar?
Where's my Oscar? What grounds you? Because this, I mean, this world is crazy, but this business is even crazier. So
Yeah.
what makes Erika Christensen Erika Christensen? What grounds you?
The same things I think that probably most people find: family and your love of your work and exercise to keep you present and religion.
You're a Scientologist, right?
Yeah.
So how does that inform who you are and how you live now?
Oh man. It's a huge part of my life because it's a study. It's an applied philosophy. But it's also understanding like what the way life works and being able to use that. It's like learning the rules of the game. Like this is why things are the way they are, this is why things go the way that they do, and then you can play the game better knowing the rules of the game. The study, it's the technology of studying anything. It's dope.
Does it help you say your lines, learn your lines?
Yeah,
Like anything?
yeah.
Astronomy, maybe?
Paddleboarding, yo.
And paddleboarding? You use it in paddleboarding? You didn't share that with me? Bitch. That's why you won. That's why. It wasn't that kid that got in front of us. It was the study method.
Now you know.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. What are the 3 biggest misconceptions that people have about Scientology?
Oh. Probably number 1, that we're some kind of closed group or mysterious or something like that, and that it's just like the Hollywood religion. And number 3, I would have to go with we worship rabbits. That I don't actually know how many people think that,
Wait,
but I had someone
I
ask
worship
me.
rabbits. That's not even, Scientology can't have that. I worship rabbits.
No, it's not us, that's Joy.
That's Joy Bryant. Tology. Ology.
That's Joyology.
That's Joyology. She worships rabbits. This is crazy.
You're getting me confused with her.
Ah, I love it. Will you raise your kids as Scientologists?
Well, I would expose them to like, this is what I do, which is how my parents did it, because my parents are Scientologists. And when I was like 7, they did like this demonstration. There's this thing in Scientology, it's a study method to like demonstrate things out, like this represents something so you can see it out there and you don't have to imagine. And my mom kind of explained out like, this is the goal, this is what we're doing. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And I was like 7, I was like, okay, cool. And so I would give them the option of like, these are our study tools, so you can use these in school, get good grades, learn, okay, good. And then, you know, just like anybody has a relationship with Scientology, it's like you do a course and you're like, yeah, I'm into it, it makes sense to me, or not.
Right.
If I had to sum it all up, like the goal of Scientology is giving the person back to themselves. Like your own power of choice.
And not necessarily believing that there's a higher power that is controlling that, or?
No, let me put it this way. There are Baptist Scientologists. And there are Buddhist Scientologists. And there are Jewish Scientologists. So that, you know, God and that belief, whatever it is for you, is intact. Because like I was saying, it's about applicability. It's about the way you use things in your life and you controlling your own fate. And so if you, on top of that, have whatever belief works for you to make you feel good and make sense to you, then great.
That's fascinating. What do you say we take this baby for a spin?
Joy ride?
Hey. Drive up. I'm actually going to drive the boat.
So am I.
That's another skill that I have. I drive boats. What does love mean to you?
It means to me caring immensely about the other person. And on the big scale things, like what you want to do with your life and what makes you happy, and making sure the person gets that. And then the small scale things, like my boyfriend always, like if it's bedtime, I'll come into the bathroom to brush my teeth and my toothbrush already has toothpaste on it. And I'm like,
You're kidding. Come on.
being thoughtful. Exactly. Putting
And,
yourself
and
in that
knowing
person's
when you
shoes.
need to have some pecan pie.
And knowing when the right time is to bring me my pie.
Right. With ice cream and whipped cream.
Yes.
Yeah, that's love.
That's love.
I agree. What's your legacy? How do you want to be remembered
Right.
on this earth?
I would like to be remembered for a body of work that kind of collectively, ultimately, has made people happy. You know, that's what I think. Part of the main, you know, that's our main job. They do call it the entertainment industry, you know, but really just find the beauty in things, like we were just talking about, finding the beauty in things and yeah, finding the beauty in things.
That's right. Erika,
Thank you.
She found the beauty.
Oh, this day is beautiful. I don't have to find it. It's right here.
This is
Wrap that
Why? Why? What are your sources of inspiration? Yeah. What are your sources? What's your sausage of inspiration? Your sausage. Give me your sausage. I want your sausage of inspiration.
All right.
Not three, just one or
Just
whatever.
one.
Sausage.
I said brats.
Brat?
Yeah.
Oh, brat sausage. I get it.
Hey, if you like this episode, don't forget to like and share with your friends. And you can leave a comment. We love comments, especially good ones.
Pharrell Williams here.
Hi, I'm Joy Bryant,
I'm Eric Christensen.
I'm Tom Colicchio.
I'm Dr. Frank Lipman, the host of On the Table.
the host of Across the Board.
Host of Artist Talk.
Host of Hooked Up.
Host of the show, Be Well Week, Be Well Weekend, on the Reserve channel.
It's only on Reserve.
Did you know that you can follow my show on social media sites like Facebook?
Follow us on Twitter.
If you're a fan of my show, hit the like button.
All of the above.
Share me with your friends.
Treat yourself. Check out a new episode of my show, Hooked Up.
And if you want to leave comments, feedbacks, ideas, whatever, love to hear from you. Leave a comment.
And if you don't want to miss the show, be sure to subscribe.
The one that's like down here, or is it here? Somewhere down here.
Thanks for watching the Reserve channel.
Only on YouTube. Throw caution to the wind and ask yourself what rules.